Good morning. This is me once again, and I'm going to put together a short little video for you on how to do labs at home if you don't have, like an extra computer to use for some of these laboratories. This one is Lab 7.1.4. It's on IP addressing, and so what we're going to do, this is supposed to be a hands-on lab, but we're going to do it using Packet Tracer. But first things first, let us open up the lab. Okay, so here the lab is, and it says we're going to connect PCA and PCB using a crossover cable. Now this is something you can do. This is probably the most basic form of local area network there is just two simple PCs with network cards that are connected together with a cable. And if you use a crossover cable, then that will connect the transmit to the receive and the receive to transmit so that these machines can talk back and forth without having to have a switch in between. All right, so here's what we're going to do. First things first, I'm going to open up Microsoft Word. Okay, blank document. There we go. All right, and I'm just going to move Word off to the side for a minute. It helps if you have two monitors, but if you don't, you can still do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut and paste this whole thing into a Word document. Copy. And document go. There it is. Okay, now I'm going to paste. And you can paste it. You can keep source formatting, that's fine, or merge formatting, or if you want to just keep text only, it'll drop the pictures. But we're going to do this. We're just going to merge formatting. Okay, cool. Now, what I've done is I've copied the lab into a Word document so that whenever I get down here to the questions, I can just type in my answers, whatever those happen to be. Or if you don't want to type into the box, or if you did text only and you don't have the box, then that's not a problem. You can just answer here instead. And if you guys would do me a favor, when you're doing these labs, whenever you type in your answers, color them something different. Default color change is red for my computer here, but you could change it to blue, just so I can see that this is something you typed instead of something that was built into the lab. All right, so here we go. And let's see, Network Essentials. I'm just going to minimize that for the time being. Just kind of declutter my screen a little bit here. All right, so here's my instructions. Now, I've already started Packet Tracer. I've got Packet Tracer installed on my computer. And so I'm just going to bring my Packet Tracer workspace over here. Now, it says here, objectives, build a simple peer-to-peer network. You need two PCs, an Ethernet crossover cable. Okay, no sweat. All right, so what I'm going to do is go over here to Packet Tracer, and I'm going to pick a PC, and I'm going to pick another PC, and then I'm going to connect those guys together using their fast Ethernet ports and a crossover cable. Ta-da! Happy green lights. Okay, now verify physical connectivity. All right, so yep, we've done that. All right, now PCA. It says here I need to, and I can skip some of these directions because these are for like a Windows desktop, and as you know, the desktop on these machines is slightly different. So all right, configuring my manual IPv4 addressing. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is just change the name here. I'm going to call this PCA. And then this dude over here, I'm going to call him PCB. PCA. Okay, now I'm going to go into PCA. And I'm going to go to the desktop, ipconfig. And it says here I need a static address of 192.168.168.1.1. And subnet mask, we're just going to take the default Class C subnet mask. Default gateway I don't need because I'm not going out of the network. The other machine is going to be the same thing, but except for it's going to be .1, .2. Okay, so let's close that out. Open up PCB, same thing, IP config 192.168.1.2. Ta-da. Okay, now then, what we should be able to do, let's reopen PCB. Let's go to the command prompt. Let's see if we can ping PCA. 192.168.1.1. Yep, there it is. Okay, if we can ping them, then they can ping us, more than likely. Okay, now we've verified IPv4 addressing, and we've done our pings. Okay, it says here ping from PCA, so we can do, you know, in theory, if you can ping from one device, you should be able to ping from the other. You know, provided there's not some kind of a routing issue in between. You know, so like, say for example, you had a router that was misconfigured. It might conceivably allow pinging in only one direction, but that would be pretty rare. And that would definitely be an error that you would have to look into and try to fix. Okay, now modify IPv4 addresses. So PCB is now going to get a new address, and its address is now going to be, okay, we're going to change it from 1.2 to 2.2, leaving the submask alone. Okay, so what we're going to wind up doing here, right now, this machine is on the 192.168.1 network. We're going to put it on the .2 network. So now we have moved this machine to a completely different network. Okay, X out of that. Now watch what happens when we go to ping. Because now we're on a different network. And we don't have a next hop gateway set, and we don't have a router. Without a router, there's no way for us to get from one network to the other. So now that we're on the .2 network and PCA is on the .1 network, these machines can't talk to each other anymore. Okay, so my pinging is not working so good, is it? Okay, so command prompt. Was it a success? Nope. No, it was not. Okay, explain. And the reason it didn't work, ping didn't work, because the computers are now on different networks. Okay, what kind of networking device would allow PCs to communicate from different networks? Well, a router. And I'm going to highlight this blue. There it goes. Okay, now change IPv4 addressing for PCA. Okay, so we're going to change the address for PCA to 192.168. Hang on, let me close this out. You know, sometimes when you're doing this work, you can wind up getting your desktop all kinds of cluttered. Okay, and it says we're supposed to change PCA to 192.168.2.99. Okay. All right, now PCA is also on the .2 network. Now, and we've got a different host address, but, you know, who cares? So let's see what happens. Command prompt. Now, oh, wait a minute. Let's go back to PCB for this. Okay, so before we were trying to ping 1.1, which was the old PCA address. Now PCA is .2.99. What do you know? Now that PCA is also on the .2 network, we can communicate. Are they on the same logical IPv4 Why, yes, they are. Okay, test network connectivity between the two PCs. Ping it. Yeah, the ping was successful. Or you could just say they're on the same network. That's fine too. Okay. Re-enable the Windows firewall. Okay. Shoot. Now, this doesn't really apply to us because we didn't use two actual. See, sometimes the default, when you install Windows, it tries to turn its firewall software on automatically, and that can sometimes cause you problems if you're trying to set up a local area network and change your IP addresses. The firewall may not like it, so you might have to temporarily disable your firewall in order to make this work. But then once you're done, then you re-enable the firewall to protect you from, bad actors that are always out there on the internet. Okay, cool. So that basically is how you do this lab 7.1.4. Now, I've got this thing completed. I've answered all the questions. So what I'm going to do is click on File, click on Save As, CTI 120, and I'm going to save this as lab 7.1.4.doc. Okay, and now that I've got this thing saved, I can upload it into Canvas, and that's all I need from you guys on this lab. Now, there's also another lab for this section that you can kind of do the same way. In that case, hang on, let me delete this. For the lab, I think it's 7.3.4, if I'm not mistaken. And it is going to ask you to take two PCs and also use a wireless router. So, wireless devices. Okay, home router. If you don't have all this equipment at home, then you can still do this on Packet Tracer. You're just going to follow the instructions, kind of like we did over here. Just take your instructions, copy them into a Word document, and then just do what it says. And it's going to ask you to connect up a PC, fast Ethernet to the wireless router, and fast Ethernet to the wireless router. And I think it might also want you to connect, put in like a laptop or a smart tablet or something like that. So anyway, instead of doing this on your home router, you can if you want to. If you've got multiple PCs at home and you can do all this stuff physically, then that is great. But otherwise, you can just do everything using Packet Tracer, answer the questions, and then turn it in. And optionally, you can, once you've got your Packet Tracer done, where's that stupid snipping tool? Had it up just the other day. There it goes. Snipping tool. Okay, and you can use your snipping tool to just copy this picture and then paste it into your Word document. Like down at the bottom somewhere. Paste it. And that way I can kind of see what you did as far as your network configuration. Okay, so hopefully this has been at least a little bit helpful. And if you have any questions, as always, feel free to hit me up with an email. That's not a problem. I'm going to be in the office the rest of the day. I'll be here until about 4:30 or so this afternoon. So contact me at your leisure. All right, thanks very much, and good luck with everything.